All right, welcome back to Georgia High School Sports Daily for our final segment. Nigel Wilkes along Craig Sager and a special guest, Ashley Carey. She does a little bit of everything for us. Obviously, always behind producing, but today she is in front of the camera to tell us about this great grant. I want to get your thoughts though, because I've been researching it. Milton is one of the teams with the Guardian Cap. I know obviously we're talking about the flag football part, but I want to talk about the Guardian Cap aspect. We had them on; they're using it. Georgia Tech's another program here in the state of Georgia that's also using the Guardian Cap. Why is that so important, you think?
Well, no pun intended, but it's a no-brainer. I mean, the fact that these schools are utilizing this unbelievable technology is fantastic. What I was reading earlier was the GHSA said that only 13% of schools in the state of Georgia are actually using these Guardian Caps during practice. There's so much room for growth on that, and that's exactly why the Falcons, the Arthur Blank Foundation, and the GHSA have teamed up with Guardian Cap to provide 50 Guardian Caps for a school if they apply for this grant. And if you guys are watching, if you're an AD, if you're a superintendent, if you're a principal, a coach, anything, it takes 10 seconds to apply for the grant interest form and get more information on this. So again, a no-brainer on this. It's a fantastic opportunity for these schools in the state of Georgia. And look, I mean, Milton leads the way in 6A on the field, and they're really doing it in so many more ways than one. They're playing and winning championships, but they're also protecting their players, which is really important for the longevity of the sport.
100%. Now, I want to ask you a little bit about just transitioning to flag football. Yeah. Now, we had the first ever televised. I mean, you were up there in the booth. I was calling the game. You were along there with me, helping me out. And we continue to see the growth of the sport. So why is it so important for the Arthur Blank Foundation to be kind of the catalyst for this and continue to give these programs grants and to help them out to what they want to become eventually? Yeah,
the Falcons are on the forefront of growing flag football in the state of Georgia. I mean, they've been a huge partner with the sport for the past 6 and 7 years. You know, what started with just a few girls have progressed into 7,000 girls participated in flag football this year, over 270 programs, and that continues to grow. They're so passionate about the sport. Look, when I was in high school, not too many years ago, I desperately wish flag football was a sport because girls are very interested in it. They want to be able to play a sport in the same fashion, and flag football is a great outlet for that. I played powder puff, which was a lot of fun, but you know, that's not serious. There's really no rules, but the Falcons have really done a great job in growing flag football, and this grant that they're providing for new schools, you can apply for the grant. It's $10,000 for new schools, accredited schools who have never had a flag football program, and then if you do have a flag football program, they're providing $5,000 to continue to grow your program in many more ways than one. And Najee, when you called the game, it was my first time actually seeing a flag football game played in the state of Georgia, and it was so cool because the rules are a little bit different. And just to see these girls perform the way they did, I mean, they could get on the field with guys, I feel like, and really participate with them. So it's really cool to be part of a state that's really growing the sport.
Yeah. So I mean, every school is eligible. You mentioned the teams that already have a program can apply for a grant that can help out, and then the teams that don't. You mentioned 7,000 girls are playing right now. Teams have until what, March 14th? Do you think that we can get that number up to 10,000 with these programs and maybe add 20 to 30 new teams this year?
Look, if I had the ability to go door to door and knock on every high school in the state of Georgia, I would, because this is just, I mean, the Falcons are literally handing the keys to success over to these teams to be able to provide financial support to grow, to not only start their team, but grow their team. When we had the Georgia Elite Classic back in December, one of the girls, I was talking with their mom, and they said her daughter literally put the team together, found a coach, then went to the AD and was like, we want to have football this year. They called the Falcons helped them out, and were able to get this program up and running. And now it's a great program in the state of Georgia. So it's just really, I hope that everybody takes 10 seconds to apply for the interest form for this grant, that you can scan the QR code on the screen right here and quickly fill it out. By the time we're even off air, you could be done. So just fill it out.
Yeah, and when we were talking to Chris Millman about it, he really, it's very generous. It's $10,000, but he views this as an investment. Like, get these programs playing now, and then in a couple of years, the state of Georgia is going to be leading so much that flag football is going to be actually generating revenue for each of these programs and the sport in general.
Absolutely, and there's so much more opportunity than just playing the sport at your high school. You've got the score awards that we do. You've got the Mr. and Mrs. Football Awards. That's going to be huge. And then you've got the Georgia Elite Classic that just shows you that we want to continue to grow the sport, but so does everybody else. I mean, at the Georgia Elite Classic this year, one of our players was offered by 2 schools to play at the next level. That's huge. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's incredible. Like, these girls now have a whole new outlet and a new ability to go to college to play a sport that they're really passionate about. And all of that can start with the investment that the Falcons are giving these schools.
100%. Let me ask you this as a fun question to kind of wrap this up. How cool was it just to be able to see all these girls and be able to, I want to go back to Corky Kell Dave Hunter Classic in October, and I want to go to state championships, and I want to go to Georgia Classic. How cool was it to kind of see that progression and just see great quality flag football?
Yeah. It gives me the chills just to think about it. I mean, these are household names now, like Chelsea Njoku. Like, to watch her perform at all levels, some of the girls that played in Corky Kell and then continued on and played with us at the Georgia Elite. I mean, you've got girls that just truly care and are passionate about the sport and are going to be household names and staples, and I'm so incredibly excited now that I have a year under my belt understanding the sport, of continuing to grow it, bring more attention to it along with the Falcons and this grant program. I'm excited to see which schools take advantage of this year and grow in 2025.
Yeah, I feel like with Chelsea, I mean, she's a great basketball player too, one of the better ones of the state, but I mean, her buying into flag football, perfecting her craft, and then proving that she was the best player in the state last year, that opportunity would not have been there if she didn't decide to go out of the sport. So, I mean, she's a perfect example of someone that, yeah, she would have been a name playing basketball, but she was really able to establish herself, lead them to the first ever state title, win the first ever Mrs. Georgia award, and really set the standard.
Yeah, very excited to see where it goes in 2025. And again, if you're watching, it takes 10 seconds. Just fill it out, get more information, and you could be part of our Corky Kell Classic next year. Who knows? Your athletes could be playing for the Georgia Elite Classic. Anything can happen.
Yeah, anything. And as Ashley mentioned, remember that we do televise these games on TV on the Peachtree Sports Network. Corky Kell, our Georgia Elite Classic as well. So remember, scan that QR code. If you are interested, tell a friend, and let your parent know potentially you could jumpstart the program. All right, guys, that's going to conclude today's show. You know what to do tomorrow. Same time, same place, 12 to 1 p.m. right here on the Peachtree Sports Network.